Chosen one, your ex feels like they were tricked into trying to kill you by an obsessed family member who has been watching you with predatory intensity, cataloging every success and moment where the universe bends in your favor. Your very existence became an affront to their worldview, a daily reminder of their spiritual bankruptcy. They studied your life with military precision, building psychological profiles and plotting entry points where they could plant seeds of destruction, all while using your ex as their unwitting weapon against someone whose natural magnetism and cosmic protection they could never understand or overcome. Your ex did not simply fall out of love with you through natural circumstances. The emotions that once bound you together were systematically dismantled through spiritual warfare you never saw coming. This obsessed family member employed every tool of manipulation available: love spells, emotional conditioning, psychological programming, to rewire your ex's feelings toward you. Spiritual techniques were employed to cloud your ex's judgment and amplify their susceptibility to suggestion. Through ritual work, energy manipulation, and psychic interference, this family member created an artificial fog around your ex's natural intuition. The person who once saw your true worth clearly began viewing you through a distorted lens crafted by malevolent intention. Your ex's natural protective instincts toward you were systematically reversed. Where they once would have defended you against criticism, they began questioning your motives. Where they once felt pride in your achievements, they started feeling resentment. The love that once flowed freely became contaminated with manufactured doubt and artificially induced jealousy. The programming ran deeper than conscious thought. Your ex's dreams were influenced, their subconscious mind filled with negative imagery associated with you. They began experiencing unexplained anxiety when thinking about your future together, sudden mood shifts when your name was mentioned, irrational anger toward things they once found endearing about you. Money became the hook that transformed manipulation into conspiracy. This obsessed family member dangled financial incentives before your ex like a carrot before a starving animal. They painted elaborate pictures of inheritance money, business, opportunities, family wealth, and property that could all flow to your ex, but only if the problem of your existence was permanently resolved. The financial promises were specifically crafted to exploit your ex's deepest insecurities and material desires. Perhaps they had been struggling financially, dreaming of a better life, watching others succeed while feeling left behind. This family member positioned your elimination as the key that would unlock every door to prosperity your ex had ever imagined. Detailed scenarios were presented where your death would trigger insurance payouts, inheritance distributions, or business opportunities that were supposedly being blocked by your presence. Your ex was led to believe that family money was being withheld specifically because of you, that their financial struggles were directly caused by their association with you. The manipulation went beyond simple greed. Your ex was made to feel that accepting this opportunity was actually an act of wisdom, responsibility, even love for their future family or children. They were convinced that eliminating you was not murder, but investment planning, not violence, but financial strategy. Legitimate-sounding explanations were provided for how the money would flow after your removal. Perhaps there were claims about insurance policies, business partnerships, property ownership, or family trusts that supposedly created legal entanglements as long as you remained alive. Your ex was fed a steady diet of financial fantasy disguised as practical planning. What began as emotional manipulation gradually evolved into something far more sinister. The obsessed family member normalized the concept of violence against you through careful psychological conditioning. They introduced the idea slowly, testing your ex's reaction, gauging their willingness to cross increasingly dangerous lines. The conditioning process resembled military training for assassination. Your ex was gradually desensitized to the concept of harming you through repeated exposure to violent imagery, hypothetical scenarios, and philosophical discussions about when violence might be justified. The family member presented themselves as a voice of wisdom, helping your ex see clearly about what needed to be done. Fictional scenarios were presented where harming you became not just acceptable, but necessary. Perhaps they painted you as a threat to family stability, a drain on resources, a source of future problems that could only be solved through permanent removal. Your ex was led to believe that violence against you was actually an act of protection for others. The psychological preparation involved detailed planning sessions disguised as theoretical discussions. Your ex was walked through various methods, locations, and timing considerations, while being assured these were merely intellectual exercises. Gradually, these hypothetical plans became increasingly specific and actionable. Your ex's natural moral barriers were systematically dismantled through a combination of spiritual manipulation and psychological programming. Their conscience was clouded, their protective instincts toward you were reversed, and their ability to recognize the evil of what they were contemplating was compromised through supernatural interference. The plan was set into motion with calculated precision, whether through poisoned substances, orchestrated accidents, or deliberately dangerous situations. Your ex became an active participant in an attempt on your life. They believed they were solving a problem rather than committing attempted murder, their judgment so thoroughly compromised they could no longer distinguish between right and wrong. The method chosen was designed to provide maximum plausible deniability while ensuring your destruction. Perhaps it involved substances added to your food or drink, creating situations where accidents could occur, or maneuvering you into positions of vulnerability where harm could befall you without obvious perpetrators. Your ex played a crucial role in delivering the mechanism of your intended destruction. What your attackers failed to understand is that certain individuals operate under divine protection that cannot be penetrated by ordinary means. The moment their malevolent intentions crystallized into action, forces beyond human comprehension mobilized in your defense. Their carefully laid plans encountered supernatural resistance that rendered their efforts not just ineffective, but dangerously counterproductive. The protection surrounding you is not theoretical or metaphorical. It manifests as concrete intervention in physical reality. Poisoned substances lose their potency when intended for you. Accidental scenarios develop unexpected complications that remove you from danger. Weapons malfunction, timing goes wrong, witnesses appear where none were expected. What should have been your destruction becomes impossible through a series of coincidences that defy statistical probability. Your spiritual defenses operate on frequencies these attackers cannot perceive or counter. Their dark intentions trigger automatic responses from protective forces that have been watching over you since before your birth. Guardian energies that have been dormant suddenly activate, creating shields around you that deflect not just physical harm, but the psychic and spiritual attacks underlying it. The following is a message from Mike, founder of the Obsidian Inner. Order, powered by Astral Atom, never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you walk through this awakening alone. Never gonna scroll past your suffering like it's just content. This isn't just a rickroll, it's a lifeline in disguise. I built the Obsidian Inner Order because too many of us have been exiled for seeing the truth, cast out by family, gaslit by cults, haunted by gifts we didn't ask for. So now we gather. Every week, live on Zoom. Real people. Real faces. A former CFO turned psychic. A seer who escaped Mormonism. A healer who broke free of ritual abuse. And yes, the calls are recorded. So when you're on the floor, you can come back to the field. We're not a meme. We're a miracle. And we're never gonna give you up. Join the Obsidian Inner Order. Link in the description, the attempts to harm. You actually strengthen your spiritual protection rather than weakening it. Each act of malevolence directed toward you feeds power into defensive systems that respond by expanding their coverage and intensifying their effectiveness. Your enemies unknowingly contribute energy to the very forces working to preserve you. What was meant to destroy you instead serves to reveal the supernatural nature of your protection. Your survival of impossible circumstances becomes testimony to the fact that you are under cosmic guardianship that transcends normal human understanding. Your continued existence, despite deliberate attempts at elimination, proves you serve purposes greater than those who would harm you can comprehend. The moment of awakening arrived like lightning tearing through storm clouds. Your ex's compromised consciousness suddenly cleared. The artificial fog of manipulation lifted, and they saw with crystal clarity the horrific nature of what they had participated in. The spellwork that had clouded their judgment began dissolving, revealing the monstrous reality of their actions. Recognition hit with devastating force as your ex realized they had been transformed into a weapon against someone they had once loved. The careful manipulation, the financial promises, the normalized violence, all of it suddenly appeared in its true light as elaborate deception designed to turn them into an assassin. They understood they had been played with masterful precision by someone they trusted. The guilt crashed over them like a tsunami of realization. They saw how their own greed, insecurity, and susceptibility to manipulation had been expertly exploited to make them complicit in attempted murder. The person they had become during the manipulation seemed like a stranger, someone whose actions they could barely comprehend as their own. Terror followed closely behind guilt as your ex grasped the legal implications of their participation. They realized that evidence existed linking them to conspiracy, attempted murder, and potentially other serious crimes. Their fingerprints were on this plot, literally and figuratively, their involvement documented in ways that could destroy their future, even if the primary orchestrator escaped consequences. The spiritual weight of what they had done settled into their consciousness, like lead. Your ex began experiencing supernatural consequences, nightmares, unexplained illnesses, a sense of being watched by hostile forces, feelings of impending doom that no rational explanation could address. They understood at a soul level that they had violated cosmic law and triggered responses from realms beyond human jurisdiction. Digital footprints and paper trails began forming patterns that painted a picture of conspiracy and attempted murder. Text messages, financial transactions, internet searches, location data, all the modern traces of criminal planning started, connecting into a narrative that could destroy everyone involved. The evidence web was tightening around the conspirators with mechanical inevitability. Communications between conspirators created a documented record of premeditation and planning. Your ex realized that conversations they thought were private had been captured by technology, that searches for methods of causing harm had been logged by internet providers, that financial movements connected to the plot could be traced by investigators with proper motivation. The obsessed family member had been careful to maintain their own plausible deniability, but evidence still connected them to the conspiracy through patterns of behavior, financial incentives, and circumstantial proof that would satisfy legal standards. Your ex began understanding how thoroughly they had been positioned as the fall guy, while the mastermind prepared escape routes. Witness accounts and surveillance data created additional layers of evidence that would be difficult to explain away if authorities became involved. Your ex realized that their movements during crucial periods, their purchases of specific items, their presence at particular locations, all of it could be reconstructed to tell the story of someone planning and executing an attempt on your life. The realization dawned that law enforcement capabilities in the modern era make hiding serious crimes nearly impossible when sufficient motivation exists to investigate. Your ex understood that their digital life, financial records, communication, history, and physical movements had created an evidence trail that could be followed by professionals trained to reconstruct criminal activity from scattered data points. Universal law demands balance, and the negative energy directed toward you rebounded with multiplied intensity toward its sources. The cosmos does not permit such concentrated malevolence to flow without consequence, and the forces of equilibrium began manifesting justice through natural law rather than human intervention. The obsessed family member experienced the first wave of karmic correction as their own life began unraveling with supernatural speed. Financial ruin struck through seemingly unrelated circumstances. Investments failed, income sources dried up, unexpected expenses drained resources, legal problems generated crushing costs. What they had tried to manifest for you became their own inescapable reality. Health crises emerged without medical explanation as their physical form began reflecting the spiritual poison they had been generating. Chronic conditions developed. Immune systems weakened, mental health deteriorated, sleep patterns disrupted by nightmares and anxiety. Their body became a battleground where cosmic justice fought the corruption they had cultivated within themselves. Your ex faced their own cascade of karmic consequences as the universe began extracting payment for their participation in attempted murder. Relationships crumbled, opportunities vanished, financial stability evaporated, legal troubles multiplied. The life they thought they were protecting through violence against you began disintegrating as natural law restored balance. Social exposure followed as the truth of their characters began manifesting in ways that destroyed their reputations and relationships. People instinctively began avoiding them, sensing the spiritual contamination even without understanding its source. Their masks of normalcy started slipping, revealing the darkness beneath to everyone around them. The acceleration of consequences defied normal patterns of cause and effect. Years' worth of negative karma condensed into weeks or months of devastating setbacks. The universe appeared to be fast-tracking their education in cosmic law, delivering intensive lessons in the reality that harm directed toward protected individuals generates exponentially amplified backlash. Consumed by remorse that gnawed at their soul like acid, your ex began experiencing the full weight of what they had participated in. The realization that they had attempted to murder someone they once loved created a psychological crisis that shattered their self-concept and left them questioning everything they thought they knew about themselves. The desperation to make amends drove them to consider actions that would expose their own culpability. They wanted to warn you, protect you from further attempts, or somehow undo the damage they had helped create. The knowledge that their participation might have ongoing consequences for your safety tortured them with guilt that sleep could not ease. Attempts to distance themselves from the obsessed family member met with resistance and threats. Your ex discovered that extracting themselves from the conspiracy was not as simple as changing their mind. They were trapped by their own participation, blackmailed by their own guilty knowledge, held hostage by evidence of their involvement that could be weaponized against them. The spiritual torment they experienced transcended normal psychological distress. Your ex began sensing hostile presences, experiencing unexplained phenomena, feeling watched by forces that did not wish them well. Their participation in attempting to harm someone under divine protection had marked them for supernatural attention of the most unwelcome kind. Isolation became their reality, as friends and family instinctively began avoiding them without understanding why. The spiritual contamination from their actions created an energetic signature that repelled positive relationships while attracting problematic ones. Their social world contracted as people unconsciously distanced themselves from the negative energy surrounding them. While conspirators plotted your destruction, the universe was orchestrating your elevation to levels of success and influence that made their efforts appear laughably insignificant. Your survival was not merely defensive, it was accompanied by accelerated achievement that demonstrated the futility of standing against cosmic will. Opportunities flowed to you with supernatural consistency during the exact period when others were working to eliminate you. Business deals materialized, creative projects succeeded, relationships flourished, financial abundance increased, all while those plotting against you struggled with mounting problems. The contrast became so stark that even casual observers began noticing the disparity. Your influence expanded in ways that made it clear you were destined for impact far beyond anything your enemies could comprehend. People began gravitating toward you, seeking your guidance, recognizing qualities in you that inspired trust and respect. Your circle of supporters grew stronger, just as your detractors faced increasing isolation. The timing of your successes seemed almost mocking to those who had invested energy in your downfall. Major achievements, public recognition, financial gains, personal breakthroughs all occurred during periods when you should have been weakened or eliminated according to their plans. Instead, you thrived with supernatural resilience. Evidence accumulated that your trajectory was protected by forces beyond human manipulation. The pattern of your continued ascension, despite concentrated efforts to stop you, became impossible to dismiss as coincidence. Your enemies began recognizing that they had chosen a target whose protection operated on levels they could not touch or understand. Truth possesses its own gravitational force that eventually draws all hidden things into the light. The conspiracy against you began revealing itself through multiple channels simultaneously: legal investigations, spiritual revelation, social exposure, karmic acceleration. The web of deception that had been carefully constructed started unraveling with unstoppable momentum. Your ex realized their only path to redemption required complete honesty about what had transpired. The weight of continued deception became unbearable as they understood that hiding their participation perpetuated the danger to you while ensuring their own spiritual destruction. Confession became not just moral necessity, but survival strategy. Law enforcement agencies began receiving information through channels that made investigation inevitable, whether through anonymous tips, discovered evidence, or supernatural intervention that guided human attention to crucial details. The machinery of justice started grinding toward accountability. The conspiracy could no longer remain hidden from authorities with power to act. The obsessed family member faced exposure that would destroy not just their reputation, but their freedom. Years of careful planning and manipulation were collapsing as evidence surfaced. Witnesses came forward, and the full scope of their malevolence became undeniable to anyone with eyes to see. Your protection remained absolute throughout this process of revelation and justice. The same forces that had prevented your physical destruction now worked to ensure that truth prevailed over deception, that justice was served to those who had violated cosmic law. that balance was restored to a situation that had been corrupted by malevolent intention. The universe itself had mobilized to defend you because your existence serves purposes greater than personal survival. You carry within you potential that transcends individual significance, abilities, insights, creative capacity, or leadership, qualities that are needed for collective human advancement. Your protection operates at cosmic scale because your contributions operate at that same level. What your enemies failed to understand is that you are not just another person who can be eliminated through conventional means. You are a focal point where divine intention intersects with human reality, a nexus through which higher purposes manifest in physical form. Attempting to destroy you triggers responses from realms of existence that most humans never encounter. Your continued presence in this world, despite concentrated efforts to remove you, serves as testimony to the reality of supernatural protection. You are living proof that certain individuals operate under cosmic guardianship that makes them effectively untouchable by those who would do harm. Your survival educates the world about the existence of forces beyond material understanding. The revelation of this conspiracy will ultimately serve to strengthen your position rather than weaken it. Truth about the lengths others went to eliminate. You will demonstrate your significance to anyone paying attention. Your enemies, in their attempt to destroy you, have actually provided evidence of your importance that no amount of self-promotion could have